You just found out you are pregnant, and within days, your body starts doing things nobody warned you about. You are exhausted in a way that sleep does not fix. You feel sick, but nothing comes out. You see a spot of blood and your heart stops. Your emotions shift without warning, fine one minute, in tears the next. And through all of it, you are asking the same 3 questions. What is actually causing this? Why is my body doing this? And when does it stop? That is exactly what this video answers. Every first trimester symptom, explained clearly, calmly, completely. Not to scare you, not to give you medical advice, just to finally make sense of what is happening inside you. Let's get into it. Fatigue. This is not tiredness. This is a level of exhaustion that feels almost impossible to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it. You can sleep 10 hours and still feel like you haven't slept at all. Here is what is actually happening. Your body has just received the biggest instruction it has ever been given. Build a human being. From scratch, starting now. To do that, your body is producing a hormone called progesterone at levels it has never produced before. Progesterone relaxes muscles, slows digestion, and signals your entire system to redirect its energy inward. At the same time, your blood volume is beginning to increase, eventually by up to 50%. Your heart works harder, your kidneys filter more, your immune system partially suppresses itself so it doesn't reject the embryo. All of that happening simultaneously inside you, right now. The fatigue is not weakness. It is your body doing the most complex thing it has ever done. When it gets better, it typically peaks around weeks 8 to 10 and improves significantly in the second trimester. Nausea. It's called morning sickness, but it happens at any time of day. Morning, afternoon, evening, 3 a.m., the name is wrong. The experience is real. Here's what's actually causing it. When a fertilized egg implants, your body begins producing a hormone called HCG, the same hormone pregnancy tests detect. HCG rises extremely rapidly in early pregnancy, doubling every 48 to 72 hours. The faster it rises, the worse the nausea tends to be. Nobody knows exactly why HCG causes nausea, but the leading theory is that it's protective, making you sensitive to smells and foods that could be harmful to the embryo during its most vulnerable stage. When it gets better, HCG peaks around week 10 and then falls as the placenta takes over hormone production, which is why nausea typically eases after the first trimester. One important distinction: severe nausea that prevents eating and causes significant weight loss is a separate condition called hyperemesis gravidarum, and it requires medical attention. Regular morning sickness, while genuinely awful, is actually a sign that pregnancy hormones are doing exactly what they should. Now, the next one is the symptom that sends more people into a midnight panic than any other. If you've experienced this, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. Spotting. Light bleeding or spotting in the first trimester is one of the most frightening moments a newly pregnant person can experience. It is also extremely common. There are 2 main causes that are entirely normal. The first is implantation bleeding. When the fertilized egg attaches to the uterine lining, small blood vessels can rupture, causing light spotting. This typically happens 6 to 12 days after conception, often before a person even knows they're pregnant. It's lighter than a period, shorter in duration, and usually pink or brown rather than bright red. The second is cervical sensitivity. The cervix receives significantly increased blood flow during pregnancy, making it more likely to bleed lightly after activity, a pelvic exam, or intercourse. What's normal? Light spotting without cramping is common, and usually not a cause for alarm. What's not? Heavy bleeding, bright red blood, or spotting with significant cramping should always be evaluated by a healthcare provider. Promptly, not after a night of Googling. Mood changes. You cry at an advertisement. Then you feel fine. Then overwhelmed. Then calm again. All within 1 hour. This is not who you are. This is what your hormones are doing to your brain right now. Estrogen and progesterone both directly affect neurotransmitters, particularly serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals that regulate mood and emotional stability. When hormone levels rise this rapidly and dramatically, the brain's chemistry genuinely shifts. This is real. It is physiological. It is not weakness, and it is not a permanent change in who you are. When it gets better, mood instability typically stabilizes as the body adjusts to its new hormone baseline. Now, a few symptoms that nobody warns you about. Quick, but worth knowing so you don't spend a week wondering what's wrong with you. Breast changes. Sore, heavy, tender, often before a missed period. Estrogen and progesterone trigger rapid growth in milk duct tissue, and blood flow to the area increases significantly. The darkening of the nipples is thought to help a newborn, with extremely limited eyesight, locate the source of feeding. Usually eases after the first trimester. Frequent urination. You're 6 weeks pregnant. The baby is the size of a lentil. It's not pressing on anything yet. This one is pure hormones. HCG increases kidney filtration almost immediately, and rising blood volume means more fluid being processed. It improves slightly in the second trimester, then returns in the third for a completely different reason: actual physical pressure from the growing baby. Metallic taste. Water tastes like coins. Food tastes wrong. This has a name: dysgeusia. Rising estrogen alters how taste receptors function. It's one of the least talked about symptoms, despite being extremely common, and it typically fades by the second trimester. Food aversions and smell sensitivity. Coffee, meat, eggs, garlic, perfume. Things you've loved your whole life suddenly smell unbearable. This isn't irrational. It's biology. Before the placenta is fully formed, the embryo has no filtration system protecting it from toxins. Your heightened sense of smell and sudden food aversions are your body's way of steering you away from anything that could potentially be harmful, particularly meat, eggs, and strong vegetables, which are also the foods most likely to carry bacteria. It typically peaks in the first trimester and improves once the placenta takes over. Headaches and dizziness. 2 circulatory symptoms, 1 section, because they come from the same root cause: your blood volume increasing faster than your blood vessels can adjust to it. Headaches happen for several overlapping reasons. Rising blood volume changes circulation patterns. Sharp increases in estrogen directly affect neurological pathways involved in headaches. Dehydration from nausea reduces the fluid needed for normal blood pressure. And if you've cut out caffeine since finding out you're pregnant, that withdrawal alone can cause headaches lasting 1 to 2 weeks. Dizziness happens because in early pregnancy, your blood vessels widen to prepare for the coming increase in blood volume, but the volume hasn't caught up yet. The result is lower blood pressure, especially when standing up quickly. Blood pools, the brain briefly gets less than it needs, and that's the lightheaded feeling. Both are most common between weeks 6 and 12, and both typically improve as your blood volume catches up to your circulatory system. Standing slowly, staying hydrated, and eating small, regular meals help with both. Those are the core symptoms of the first trimester. Every single one of them has a clear biological reason. Your body is not failing. It is not broken. It is doing the most complex and demanding thing it has ever been asked to do. And now you understand exactly why. This channel doesn't predict, diagnose, or sell anything. Just explains. Subscribe if that's useful.